Anyways, before I talk about dams here for a second, I'm drinking Coca-Cola. Now, I'm going to go on about opinions. I was going to say, I got a cavity in my mouth, which is like half the size of my tooth, and I'm drinking Coca-Cola and I don't feel it. It's really weird. But I think Coca-Cola is better than Pepsi. But I like Pepsi more. So the point is that opinions are objectively worthless, but they're very interesting things. Opinions are weird. Okay, so dams. There should be a national law, or probably an international law, that says if you're going to build a dam, you have to evaluate the opportunity that it presents to you. You shouldn't be able to get any funding or any rights to build a dam if you have not at least considered the economic opportunity, the scientific opportunity, the agricultural opportunity, and the public activity opportunities which are associated with creating this giant reservoir. Because you can have like these magnificent observation rooms like 30, 50 feet underneath the water, looking out over this reservoir where you're growing fish. Because in order to prevent the suction from sucking up the fish, just put an extra cage on all of the intakes, far enough away from the other vent, like a cage that prevents shit from getting sucked into it, so that the fish aren't like sucked up against the cage, right? Because the bottom of the reservoir is the muddiest mud of all muds that ever was. That's where all the sediment is. The intake is above the bottom. Oh, look, a partridge. Above the bottom so that nothing gets sucked into it. So if you were to ever drain the reservoir so that you can do some construction projects, you're going to end up with 10 feet of the muddiest mud that ever was. And you can never really build something afterwards, aside from the fact that emptying that reservoir and waiting for that reservoir to build back up is a ludicrous objective. You should be legally obligated to consider all infrastructural and economic opportunities beforehand, not after. Now, that's not to say that you should have to do these things. You should just have to consider them, right? So you can grow seaweed all over the place, and because the current doesn't have to be that strong, really, and you can choose where you're doing it, and you can do it high enough up where the current's not really a problem. And so if you have scuba divers that are taking care of the seaweed and they're taking care of the fish that you're growing in this thing, they can also survey the wall for any damage, and they can be present for the security of people that swim in the place. And then you can have like people with sea-doos and doing stuff all over the water, and it can be a public park. It's just, they should consider stuff like that. And it should be a legal prerequisite for them to do so, because it's not like you can consider it afterwards. It's just, that should be an international law. Peace.